Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the after show for episode 3 of chapter 2 of Echoes of the Undying. Yes, we have gone with Come to the Duck Side as the name for this one, because that's just how we roll here at the Vitruvian Meeple. We're going to do some quick stars and wishes. Not a whole lot of theory crafting, I think, to happen on this episode. This was pretty much just a straight up, knockdown, drag out fight, which is fun to have every once in a while. And so I think we're gonna start with who better when it comes to knockdown dragout fights. We're gonna go straight to Matt. What was on your mind tonight?
Well, that one was kind of the polar opposite of that undead wolf fight we had, um, where we got our butts handed to her. Um, so that felt good. Definite stars to um, well, Trevor for juggling a that many Goomba fight, which is not always easy. And stars to Ray for, always being a fun comedy foil to work off with, and doing some, fun gnomish stuff with the Ornithopter. Um, that's always fun. Stars to the audience for putting up with my voice being in this state. I know I probably sound a little like a certain public figure that I'm not going to name. Hopefully, it wasn't too terrible on everybody's ear. Thank you. Um, and yeah, wishes I would like to actually be healthy for a game session for once in my life. That would be nice.
You need to lock yourself in at home. Do not interact with anybody and just hope that a bubble, might give you.
Yeah.
Speaking of a bubble, lovely segue. Let's go over to ECAT, our other main combatant of the evening.
I'm going to echo Matt for stars to Trevor for just giving us lots of things to wail on, as well as being frustrating to have to get an even number to take these suckers out. I don't have any wishes at the moment, except maybe that we can actually make it 3 episodes in a row together.
Right? let's not go crazy here.
I'm just asking for one more.
Right?
Just one more.
Gambler's fallacy. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ray. For the random element of the evening.
I do what I can. I have big star to Patrick. That was very good. Know your role, know what your strength is, and let everybody else do the hack and slash. Because that's the effect you want, is to hear the GM say, your claws do 4 points of damage? It's a nice little in your pocket thing to have and just, use whenever you need to. And stars to absolutely Trevor, star to you. Cause yes, and Matt for all sorts of flavors of Duck Smash. So my wish is whenever we you spilled the mechanics, so we knew what we needed to get, and then it was like, oh, we didn't get it. Oh, we didn't get it. And as I keep on going, that's when I started thinking of, is there another level? Is there a sideways option that whenever, because that can get rather monotonous, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need to, but like, so one of the things that I was thinking about doing is like, could I hide behind one of the corpses? Like basically put it up in front of me, is like, you don't see me. I'm one of you, right?
Yeah.
And see if that would and then they wouldn't be like, coming in on me, depending on the roles, of
Yeah.
course. So whenever, typically whenever it's combat and it's that repetitive, it's like and whether it's for comedic or strategic effect, I want to find that alternate route. I want to find something that's going to disrupt the monotony in order to eventually give us an advantage or uncover something that we didn't utilize or didn't know before, something like that. So, um, but other than that, everything it was good. We haven't had one of these in a long, long time.
Yep.
So it's nice to come back to every now and again. Oh, and remember that we have friggin' ciphers.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I will say to that, uh, because of Taquito's abilities, um, you are more than welcome to take your action to say, I have this thing called there's your problem. I want to find another way out of this.
Okay.
And again, depending on the roles. But yeah, I will, and that will be on me that I will always try to have a second way out other
Mm-hmm.
than just duck smash.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, let Tequila be creative. And if you come up with a creative idea for an option B, great. That's what happens. Um, but yeah, that's absolutely, Tick is supposed to be the one that always finds the oddball solution to the problem, so let's lean into that.
Okay.
And we'll go next to Patrick.
All right, so my star very much with what you just said goes to Ray. I adored the fact that in the height of combat, Tick is trying to come up with some other means to deal with that, drawing the uh, conclusion with the crystal from the ornithopter, seeing what happens, to mildly disastrous effect, at least for himself. It made it way easier for me because when they all like circling on me, I'm like, well, it was nice knowing you all, but I also have hover, so I could totally escape out of this and just totally leave Tech out to dry. Fortunately, I didn't have to do that because he was already the sole target of their ire. So I got to actually look really cool in the process. So thank you very much for that.
I
I didn't
live
have
to
to look as awful
serve.
as I actually am. Um, for wishes, the only wish I have, and I this is kind of a bigger gaming issue, is that I really wish combat sessions ran faster, but it is almost impossible to do that unless you make the combat really simple and inflexible so everybody's just able to do the same thing. Then it's not fun. Or you kind of remove combat, because if you have options and things, you have to ask questions and come up with ideas, and that takes time. But otherwise, you know, Monster is fun nonetheless. So, I enjoy a good combat session. I've played games where that's all the game was combat sessions, and that's no fun. But games without combat sessions aren't a whole lot of fun either. So,
All right. And next to Julie.
Oh, I'm definitely going to give a star also to you for managing that chaos. Patrick, using the tactics was, to give everybody boosts. That was absolutely fantastic. Definitely a star for that. I mean, everybody really. I loved that everybody was in character while doing combat, which can be very, very easy, easy to lose that. And I had an immense amount of fun, getting to shoot fire at, all the things. Zombie kebabs.
Yep.
Um, right. Aside from the, hopefully we can keep this momentum with actually getting to play going. Oh my God. We need to be able to rest after this. Please,
Yep.
please, please.
Yep.
Don't forget that we all
gotta
need
let
a
Mama
really,
use her magic as a cleric.
All right. So, yep, we can absolutely do some resting before the next big dramatic thing.
Yeah.
My stars, uh, I will, again, one to Patrick for, I mean, you are playing the support character. What do you do in combat most of the time? You make other people better. Um, you know, every attack that would have from the zombies that would have hit that missed because you had pumped people's defenses, that's you. If you're pumping their attack, then same thing. Every attack that would have missed that hit, that's you. Um, Psyching up the combat characters, great, perfect. That's it's okay to and I think we all know this, but sometimes it deserves to be said again. It's okay to be in combat and not be fighting. You make your uh, contributions, in what works for your character. Um, Speaking of that, Takeedle, Ray, again, always the element of lovable chaos. Um, and yeah, I again to be kind of a little bit reductive and cop out. I mean, again, star to everyone for actually playing in combat to your strengths. Or actually, in some cases, especially, and this was the other one I would give out, to Matt, playing not necessarily to your strengths because of the narrative. I loved that. I absolutely loved that. What do I do? I rage. I don't want to rage right now. My character doesn't want to rage. Great. That was fantastic. That was a lovely little story beat. And I'm going to be very curious to see where that goes. Because it is possible to change your focus. You just start over at tier 1 of the new focus, and you stop advancing in the old one, and you can't advance it anymore. So if that is something that would be narratively fun for you, we can absolutely make that happen. Let's figure it out and kind of time frame it out so we know how to pace the story. My wishes, I don't know. I'm not sure I really have any for the moment, because this, again, this combat sessions are lovely and fun, and they are the popcorn, they are the brain candy when the story gets really deep and dark, which this one is kind of getting. So yeah, my other wish, to kind of go back to something, Patrick, that you said about not making combat take quite so long. I wish there was a way to abstract combat away that didn't feel like we were taking all of the toys away from the combat characters. That I think is part of what makes combat in these crunchier games take that long. Is you don't want to just say, okay, you wipe up the rest of the zombies, because then the people with all of the combat abilities and all the combat toys are going to go, well, this was my chance to do fun shit. And you don't want to take that away. So, noodle on that a little bit. Anyway, it's late. We all have jobs to actually go back to tomorrow. And we're all old and cranky and tired. So I think we're just going to end it here. Again, to people, anyone who actually is watching this, first of all, thank you so much. Tell a friend. Or you know what? Keep us as a nice little secret to yourself, and just enjoy. That's all I'm going to say. In the meantime, for Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, and ECAT, I am once again Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Have a good night, everyone.